Oh, get ready, ladies and gentlemen, for an IMAX experience in 3, 2, 1. Oh, hey there. Welcome back to Only Stupid Answers, the best damn podcast you can put your ears into. I haven't done that intro properly.
Yeah, and you know what?
In months.
That's the bonus you get to being on our Patreon. Is Sam
I
did the
figure
intro
it out. I get it. I nail it. Guys, welcome to the first bonus episode. Yay.
Yay! Guys, guess who's with us for the bonus episode?
Sam.
Yes, Sam is with us.
And
DJ's also with us, but that's not who I was referring to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It is I, Blackagar Boltagon.
Oh,
Good
my
reference.
goodness.
You were wondering what his voice sounded like. There it is.
There it is.
Oh, yeah, well, he's not going to talk in that show except for like 4 words.
But his hair is really bouncy.
His hair is bouncy.
Yeah. He's got bouncy hair.
Bouncy, bouncy hair.
Today, reading for the part of Blackagar Boltagon is Mr. Matthew Lieberman.
Hey, I just wanted to
Yay.
say thank you so much for seeing me. I really adore the role and the source material. I've really studied up and...
No, you're talking too much.
Okay.
Sorry, the role is non-speaking.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I did not read the comic itself. I'm a fan of source material
didn't
in
require
general.
reading because he doesn't speak. You just
You just gotta look pretty and kind of glare. Can you glare?
Glare.
Give us a glare. Ooh, the
you guys
listeners
can't
love
see it
that
at
glare.
home, but it's
Listen real
it's
close.
something.
It's something.
Listen real
It's
close.
wait, hold on, listen real close.
Wait, go ahead and glare. You hear that? You hear those eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good. Matt, thank you so much for coming
Thank you
on.
for joining us,
Yeah,
man.
of course. It is my pleasure, and I've missed you guys, so it was great
We've
to
missed
be able
you
to
too.
come and talk about some superhero TV like old times.
It's gonna be real fun.
It's good to know that you're still around, and it's not like you
That
left the
I'm
room
not
and
dead.
you vanished. It's like when you're a kid and your teacher leaves the room, and you're like, they're probably gone forever.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
You mean like what dogs react to
Yeah.
when their owners leave? Yeah, it's
Mrs.
kind of like that.
Pocatello, if you're out there, say something.
Please.
Yeah.
Reach out. Facebook exists now. We're all on Facebook. I know you are.
Yeah.
Matt, how are things?
Aside from Facebook friending my old teachers, things are good. You know, like I'm writing, I'm working on my own podcast, which I wanted to have up by now, but waiting on some contracty stuff.
That's
Did ya?
exciting.
Yeah, so it's the Matt Lieberman Show. As soon as I am able to make a formal announcement, I will do so on my social media. It's going to be a really cool show. It's a variety show, comedy, current events, food, and long-form interviews with really cool people.
That sounds like Matt Lieberman to me. I'm excited. I'm going to tune in, and boy, I better hope all of you tune in, or I swear to God, there's going to be some punishments.
Yeah,
I swear to God.
some punishments
That's-
right here on my podcast.
On
not a-
this podcast,
that's not a
we're gonna
threat.
dole 'em out.
I'm going to come back on this podcast,
Matt's gonna come
and
back.
I'm going to slap you with my voice.
That's that's a slight threat.
Yeah.
Mild threat. Some
Mild.
people might be like, cool, okay, you guys to be
I'm
on the
into that.
podcast.
Matt's
I'm
gonna
into
come
that.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you back. Okay, today with the bonus episode, we made a promise. We're going to start
Yes.
talking about in depth superhero shows.
Yes.
Superhero.
This is something that
news.
you at home have been demanding, and we're like, hey, how can we provide it to you? We've only got a few more episodes left of the season. How can we provide it to you on a regular basis? And Sam Boy over here was like, hey, DJ, Patreon.
Hey,
Boom.
Patreon.
So now you Patreon subscribers, we love you. And this is it. This is what this is. This is if you missed Superhero Roundup, who doesn't? I do.
I do.
I shed a
It's real
single tear.
fun.
I shed a single tear every Friday that it doesn't exist.
At 1 o'clock or 11 a.m. or 2:30, whenever the time
At some
was.
unspecified time in the middle of the day on Friday, I freeze. And I'm like,
freeze.
something's wrong.
This is when it would have gone up.
Yeah.
Maybe 5 minutes after,
After
1 a.m.
5
1
minutes
p.m.
after 2:30 in the afternoon.
Point is, we missed it.
Yeah.
And so this is that. This is the same spirit of that, but we're calling it Superhero ShowDown.
Pretty
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
superhero
Showdown.
Showdown.
Boom.
Basically totally different. So you guys are in for a real treat. So let's just hop right into it
Yes,
because
please.
I'm excited. Matt, you've been keeping up with shows, or
I have not.
but did
So
you watch
I'm-
some?
I watched the shows this week for this podcast.
I'm so excited about that. I'm curious to see where you stopped and so
Yeah.
how different things are from where you picked
Yeah.
up.
I'm gonna guess very.
Yeah, very different. Some shows were easier to pick up than others. So, like, just for reference, I think the last week of shows that I saw was like maybe 2 or 3 weeks after they came back from mid-season. Like in terms of like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I think is the first one we're talking about today.
Yes, sir.
The majority of the agents had just been replaced with LMDs.
Oh,
there you go.
You're actually pretty good.
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah.
miss a couple stories in this mainframe thing, but you really
Yeah,
got
so
it.
by halfway through the episode, I figured it out.
Yeah.
Actually, you've completely skipped the mainframe story.
Yeah.
They're out of it now.
So what happened was, those agents have been replaced to try and free them from the mainframe.
The framework.
The framework. Thank
Very
you.
important, not the Matrix.
Yeah, not the Matrix. Daisy and Simmons kind of like wiggled their way in there, but they all have different lives in the framework.
Yeah,
in the framework. So it was a challenge to convince them that, hey, Agent May, you're not a duplicitous Hydra agent. You're actually one of the good guys, and you should come with us to this alternate reality.
And was it clear that scene ever happened where they convinced her that she wasn't bad? Not really. She just realized
she helped murder a bunch of children, and she felt bad about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Classic. That's a classic turn.
Yeah.
That's a classic turn.
That's what they call a character arc.
Yeah.
Oh.
Learn some things at home. Though.
Learning some stuff. All right, let's go ahead and kick it off. This is the penultimate episode. Everyone's escaping.
Actually, there's
the
2 more
framework.
episodes
It's
after
the
this.
anti-penultimate episode.
There we go.
What's the one before an anti-penultimate episode?
Episode 18.
There you go.
There you go. But we have all of our agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They're racing against the clock. They're trying to beat Ada and get out of the framework before something happens.
Yeah,
but
before she gets her body and she's able to kill them.
yeah, a 3
Shut
printing
down
a
the
body.
framework.
And kill them.
Yeah.
Yes.
And using both magic and science, Ada's able to print herself a brand new spanking
That's true,
body.
because it was the Darkhold that gave her the ability to do that.
The Darkhold demon book that can make new technology.
Okay, so hold on, Matt. For you, having missed like 5-ish episodes maybe,
Something like that.
what was the wait, what?
Well, from the very beginning, just sort of like, okay, so Daisy, I thought Daisy was an LMD at the time, so I was pretty confused that she and Simmons were not. And then they went into the world, and I was like, I'd heard Agents of Hydra over and over from like promotional materials. I'm like, so what? How did Hydra? What? But Hydra's in the computer world.
Yeah.
And Fitz is bad.
Uh-huh.
I don't.
Fitz is very bad.
Is he pretending to be bad? No, he's just real bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. About halfway through the episode, I was like, okay, Coulson is the teacher that they mentioned. Mac is a dad, and he wasn't an agent. Okay, so he wasn't an agent.
Yeah.
So these people know about the framework. These people believe it. These people don't. And I don't know what I don't know is what's going on in the real world. That's a big problem.
The story isn't like fully happening. The whole like the main like threat of this framework is that Ada, who was the LMD,
right,
she's found a loophole with the framework and the Darkhold to make herself a body that doesn't have to follow the rules of being an android.
Yeah,
because one of her shield.
Yeah, one of her rules is she can't kill people.
Right.
Yeah.
So she makes like a real flesh body.
Yeah, so that way she can kill the agents of
And
S.H.I.E.L.D.
because Fitz was nice to her early in the season, she's in love with Fitz.
Yes.
Yeah, and she was kind of using him within the framework to help her design the machine to make her body.
Right.
Yeah, so in the framework, they're deeply in love, all that jazz. And he's done some really horrendous, awful, bad things.
Yeah.
No, the whole premise.
And his hair is way cooler.
His hair is pretty cool.
It's bad boy hair. But the whole premise of the framework, I don't know if you heard it from like earlier, or like from when you left, but the whole point of it is that Ada takes away one regret someone has, and their whole life is rewritten. So Fitz has his dad, and that ends
his
up
dad is
him
an
being
awful,
Hydra.
awful person. And this is our first time meeting the dad was in the framework, so we don't know what he's like outside of it.
You get a pretty good idea.
There had been mentions earlier in the series of his dad being like an awful, awful guy, and like I think it was like part of the reason why he wanted to be an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. is to try to do some good, unlike his father.
Yeah.
So like to be able to bond with his father, I imagine, is like a regret that he had. But it just happens to be that he bonded with his father by being evil, which is not what he would have wanted.
It's definitely one of those genie scenarios of be careful what you wish for. Like, I wish I was closer to my dad. Well, you're closer to your dad, but now you're also evil.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Classic.
Agent May didn't want to kill that kid in... What was the location of the...
Where she became the...
something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's always Marrakesh.
so the kid came back, but then, like... Hydra was able to pull some strings to make it where the kid like murdered a bunch of people in a college.
Do you remember the original premise of Civil War in the comics? What happened? Do you like the tragedy that happened? There was a mutant that exploded and like decimated a whole town and killed like 200 kids.
Got it. Yeah.
It seems like a twist on that. Like this
that's
kid,
a cool way to fold that in.
Yeah,
this kid like killed a bunch of
People.
Kids.
Yeah, so May didn't kill the evil kid, but then the evil kid killed a bunch of other people, which helped put Hydra in charge. Stuff Coulson, not an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., but just a teacher.
Right.
Stuff like that. So and Matt gets his kid.
I got that. Yeah. And that ending. So yeah, they go in and they're trying to convince everybody, and it's not as propulsive as I feel like it felt like it should be.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of scenes in hallways talking about whether or not they believe what's real is what we know.
Yeah, there was definitely like the first few episodes of this whole arc were more action oriented, and this was a lot more like bye framework.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a sweet farewell. Like when we got into the framework, like Simmons was dead. She had to crawl herself out of a grave and like a mass grave, and then like go on the run with like a S.H.I.E.L.D. ID. S.H.I.E.L.D. is like a no word. You don't say that no more. That's bad because Hydra don't like S.H.I.E.L.D. And so she was getting in trouble. Sky woke up with Ward. And
you missed Ward was a part of it, but
that's fun.
And it turns out so both of them are Hydra agents in this world, but he's a double agent for S.H.I.E.L.D. So in this version, he's a secret good guy as opposed to a secret bad guy.
Me.
Trip was back.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a delight to have Trip back.
Yeah, and then one of the big things was Patriots. I can't remember his
Mace.
Mm-hmm. He is exactly what he wanted to be. He actually has powers in this world. He's the secret underground leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, he's the badass he always imagined. And he goes out like he wanted to. In the whole strike, Fitz orders an airstrike. May tells them that S.H.I.E.L.D. is in this building. Fitz orders an airstrike. It turns out it's like a brainwashing camp for kids. And so they strike it, and Patriot's like holding the building together with his superpowers. And he dies in that world and also in the real world, saving them, so he goes out as the hero he always wanted to be.
Well, good for him.
Yeah.
So that was actually a pretty cool episode.
That was pretty cool. And then last episode was really good. I don't think Agents of Hydra was as good as LMD, because I really liked LMD as an arc.
Yeah,
that arc was really solid.
But it definitely picked up at the... I like the idea of Agents of Hydra. The show is definitely better than it ever has been before.
Mm-hmm.
I think, though, if you look at this season as a whole, like, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
I don't know if it all fits together, but as like discrete arcs, they're like very ambitious. They often pull off what they try to achieve, and like I can say that like that ambition to me is what puts it ahead of maybe some of the other shows that we used to cover or that we're covering this week. Is like they're willing to always take risks with the story that they want to tell.
Yeah.
It's always different, and they're willing to let characters die more often and not like telegraph it for episodes at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked the reveal that Ada had hidden the back door.
And you got a little Quake. I like that we brought Quake's powers back, because we got
Quake's powers back.
We got this awesome moment in the previous episode where Quake, like, her powers are back, and she quakes Ada out of a 20-story window, and she just like pancakes on the ground, and she breaks her. Like, that's why she's like in the bed during the episode. Like, her spine is
in the bed with all that makeup on her body.
Yeah, exactly.
Super liquefied.
Yeah, I liked that reveal, and what was the other thing that I thought was really interesting? I think Radcliffe is one of the best villains. He's up there with Ward as one of the best villains in the entire MCU.
No, S.H.I.E.L.D. has its problems, but they do a very interesting job with their villains. Like, Hive was interesting because of like that he had all of the past memories.
All the crazy? Everyone's crazy?
Everyone's crazy he's ever possessed. Ward was interesting because he has like so many layers to him. And Radcliffe, I like him because you still root for him.
Well, he did so many awful things with the framework and with Ada and all that stuff. And he really genuinely thought he was doing the good thing. He's just he's one of those classic TV characters that's really a genius, but also just so dumb. Mm-hmm. Just like really smart about the science and really dumb about just people and life.
And I thought this season did a good job of like building that up completely. Yeah. Like, he designs Ada, builds her, and like he's like, yeah, why wouldn't you send her in? It makes sense. And then, oops, he got Oh yeah, he got killed. Did
Oh
you
yeah,
see
you missed that.
Yeah.
That was a really cool moment because Ada is talking to him. They'd really ingratiated the mainframe, and he was spending a lot of time in there. And she's like,
Right,
I have
remember
a problem.
that.
Do you, so he's she's like, I have a problem because my most prime directive is to protect you, is to protect life, but I'm also supposed to protect the mainframe. And right now, because of the way you're doing things, you're kind of a threat to the mainframe. And he's like, don't you understand? Like, he's like, with the mainframe, life is eternal. Like, I truly believe that your brain is in your consciousness, implying that, like, he is alive in the mainframe. So she's like, great. So she kills his terrestrial body. So
And sucks him into the
Yeah, so she
mainframe
basically finds a loophole.
framework.
And so now he's stuck in the mainframe without
Got it.
his own
Without
body.
his own body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like the twist that we got. They're very sometimes the Whedons are mean to their characters. Actually,
Yeah.
they're always mean to their
They're always
characters
mean.
if you watch Angel or anything, because Angel's the only one we've watched, so that's the only one we can pull from. But I really need Mac to wake up. I need them to print Sparkplug or whatever. Hope is her name. I need them to
I hate
print
that
Hope
name.
and
I
what
can't
Hope.
give up on hope. Ugh.
I can't live without hope.
Guys, I love it. I know it's the cheesiest shit. It's so cheap. It's such a cheap thing to do, but I love it. Also, Sparkplug is a really cute nickname.
It is a
That
cute
is a
name.
cute nickname.
I don't know. Like, Shield's not going to create a facility that they just have Mac plugged into the mainframe 24/7.
No,
I
printer.
I thought it was effectively a goodbye.
But how? Like, how? I'm having trouble seeing what the payoff is going to be to that, because I think from my vantage point, the most dramatic option is Daisy knocks him the hell out and brings him out, like jumps with him.
Right.
And so then he's pissed because he wanted to stay and then he couldn't. And so now he's living without his daughter. To me, there's a lot of like more emotional weight to that.
There
because
is,
it's like,
yeah.
you can't keep him in there. He's either going to die somehow or they're going to pull him out somehow. And so I don't understand why putting it off benefits anything.
I think you build up the payoff that you were talking about like forcing him to come out, because the teaser for the next episode is you get a shot of Mac in that room, like in his body in the framework, and it's filling up with water because they're in a submarine that's sinking.
Yeah.
So like he is starting to drown. So I feel like they're gonna have to go in there and yank him out really fast. And so it's kind of like we had no choice now. It isn't a selfish thing of us pulling you out of the framework. It's that you're going to die and we don't want that to happen. So it's
But
like,
isn't there I think it would be more interesting if it was selfish. If they, I mean, that's not selfish, because like you're reminded he's leaving Yo-Yo behind, and it's like, Mac, you're being a dummy. I know there's no way for him to know, but it's like, you're being a dummy.
well, okay, who's more important, his daughter or his girlfriend?
His daughter's computer code, specifically designed.
You can't tell that to a father that lost his daughter.
Yeah.
You can't say that's like there's so many more levels to that.
DJ, you've obviously never raised computer code
I've
into
never
adulthood.
daughter. Yeah, so that's why I'm saying I would knock Mac out and pull him with me and let him be
right.
pissed at
That
me.
would have been a really effective way to end this episode, and they chose not to do it. So either it's because next week they really want to have they thought it would be a cool episode to have a tense situation where they need to pull him out because he's going to drown.
Yeah.
And like have that be a higher stakes version of trying to pull him out this week.
Yeah.
Or like I didn't see the scenes from next week, so I had taken it as just sort of like a kind of lame way to write him off the show.
Yeah.
No,
and
they
it's
can't.
like we can't.
He's too important.
We also can't get rid of the only other black guy. Like
Yeah. Well,
every other season, we just get rid of the one black guy on the show.
it's so crazy seeing him and Trip in the same episode again.
Yeah.
You realize how underwritten Trip was at the time, because the only thing they could come up with for a character trait is like, yeah, let's bring back Trip. What was his character? Well, his granddad used to fight with Captain America.
Yeah.
Anything else?
The actor's
was
really
likable.
charismatic.
Yeah,
Really
very charismatic.
Yeah, so instead of letting him be charismatic, let him hit on everybody.
Exactly.
Classic.
Yeah.
For a second, I was like, "Oh yeah, bring back Trip." That makes sense. Like because the episode before we had like this, who could they print? Like if they stopped Ada, like they could bring back anybody. They could bring back a good version of War. They could bring back Hope, anybody. But like, nah, it's okay. Trip can stay in there. But it was good to see Trip, or like keep the framework going, and then you can have like a couple episodes where it's like, I need to get away, and then people just go into the framework as like a vacation thing.
Exactly. And they would just
Tahiti.
visit Mac.
Yeah.
It's a magical
exactly. The one moment that I legitimately was like, oh shit, was when Ada teleported, grabbed Fitz and teleported.
Yeah,
I'm like,
what?
wait, what?
I know she
She
did
got
like
framework powers.
Yeah, no, if I were designing my own body with magical demon book, I would definitely be like, wait a minute. Shield definitely fought a teleporter before in a previous season. Can I get that? And then
Yeah.
she did, and she's like, "Oh shit, yeah, cool."
Yeah, I'm wondering if technically she's an Inhuman now.
that would
Like
be
she
so-
redesigned her body as an Inhuman.
Why wouldn't she?
Yeah.
That was intense. I also really like.
and that ties back into what they originally wanted to do with the season anyway.
Yeah, I
That's cool.
really liked Ian DeCostek, the
Yeah,
actor that
Ian
plays Fitz.
Dick
Fitz.
Yeah, he's so good, and like the way he played, like coming out, like I think I'm a bad person. I did all these awful things. It's like it wrecked me. It was like that's tough.
Yeah,
man.
because it's not your fault, Fitz.
But is it? It wasn't him, but was it?
Kinda.
Yeah.
I mean, a little
it
bit.
was
but
him under different circumstances.
Yeah.
But it was still him.
We got a couple. We have
got
a
a tweet.
tweet.
Yeah.
From Veronique Samard at Vero ZZ. Doesn't it seem like Agents of Shield? In Agents of Shield, they could have used Ada's machine to build a body for Hope in the real world, so Matt could come back. Oh, your boy Sam called that.
They could. I feel like that's a little cheap. Don't you feel like that's a little too easy?
What I liked is that they called her Sparkplug, and I was like, you know what they could do? Build a little life model decoy robot, and it'd be Hope, and she doesn't age, which is kind of weird.
I would like that better than building her a body.
How
if they
cool.
made a life model
little-
decoy, so she's technically a little robot.
Girl. That'd
Yeah.
be so cute, because then she can like, oh, Dad, your phone's broken. Let me, and then she just fixes everyone's
No,
phones.
it erases the whole like I'm an agent, but I'm also a dad now, and I gotta choose between them. Nah, bring little robot daughter on missions and have her have saw blades in her arms.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Shield. Take
Yeah.
it.
And Marvel, you
Yes.
love having it. You make Spider-Man younger. You want the
Jed
younger
Whedon,
audience.
we-
No,
know
no.
you
I feel like the showrunners of this like, no, that's
Yeah.
too fun. We can't do
Yeah.
that.
No, okay. Hey, they had Ghost Rider fight the other Flamey Chain guy in the beginning of this
For
season.
a hot
true.
second
Yeah.
until they didn't anymore.
They
Until they
cut
blew
it.
up the thing.
Hey guys, we know Jed Whedon and Marissa Tancharoen are obviously Patreon contributors.
Of
to
course
this
they are.
podcast.
And we appreciate you.
Yes. Guys, let's go. What would we rate this episode?
Oh, easy. Right out of 13,
Out
because
of
we like
13.
we like an even score. Out of
Yeah.
13, how would you rate Matthew Lieberman? What would you rate this?
Out of 13, I suppose I would rate it a 10. Like it like had some very solid emotional moments. I feel like a lot of the episodes this week were very more character driven.
Yeah.
I think it might have had more impact for me if I had known everything else that had gone on in the framework.
Yeah.
Probably.
But like the ending was just kind of telegraphed and not satisfying for me.
Fair
There
enough.
it goes. What about you, Sam?
Oh, out of 13, easy peasy. Actually, I really enjoyed this episode, everything they did, and I liked what they did with Radcliffe's character. Like,
Yeah.
it'd be very fun if he was like this man they could like type into Google and be like, Radcliffe, what you got any cool, scary tech we could make? And like, he's just in a computer that they could talk to.
Yeah.
Anyways, I liked what they did with him. I liked Max Twist, and I hope that they pay it off, which they've been better about building things up like
Yeah.
this season. They haven't like taken the wind out of their own sails. So I'd give it a 13 easy score, 11.5.
I like that.
Nice.
I would get what would be a B plus in this
Probably 11.
11. I'm gonna give it 11
Nice.
because I thought it was. I thought it was a little like it could have been a little bit more propulsive. I was not a huge fan of the twist with Mac. But I've enjoyed what this show has been doing. Like I said before in one of the main episodes, I feel like Agents of Hydra, it could have been a little crazier. Like you're in an alternate reality. Like have like helicarriers just in the sky all the time. Like just
Budget, baby.
You could do one shot where somebody looks at the city and you see two giant helicarriers over, and you're like, that's their life now, and then
Yeah.
you move on.
It could be a tight shot. It
Have-
doesn't even have to be a whole helicarrier.
In Ada's office, have a broken Captain America shield, so you know, like in this world, Cap's dead, like stuff like that. You know what I mean?
And it's
but
not
all-
like Marvel's never produced a broken Captain America shield.
it's sitting
They've
somewhere
got to
in
have
somebody's
at
office.
least 50.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I still think they've done some really cool things with it, and I appreciate that this show is trying bolder things. Yeah.
I'm a fan. Still no word on season 5, which is a
Well-
bit of a bummer, and I hope we get it because I really like what they've been doing.
I've been wondering if maybe Inhumans is going to replace it because it's something with a more direct tie to the comics.
But they're only doing an 8-episode season. There's no
That's
guarantee
true.
that it'll be any good at all.
That's the thing. That's the
Buck.
thing. Yeah,
Buck.
Sam and-
Scott Buck stops here.
Sam and I have been talking about how we want them to do more like Ghost Rider, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Hercules.
Yep.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Spider-Woman.
We were talking about that at the top of the season. It
Yeah.
was so fun.
Yeah. So hopefully
Jessica
they do.
Drew.
They do-
Silk. That'd be
Yeah,
cool,
maybe
too.
they do stuff. Hopefully they do stuff like that and incorporate some of the more C/D list characters that people still really love. You know.
I'm a fan. All right, we got our Marvel show out of the way.
Yes.
Now let's hop over to the CW shows, starting with Supergirl.
Supergirl. So, Matt, what was the last thing you saw with Supergirl?
Last thing I saw with Supergirl, oh boy, there was a I think it was after the crossover. There was a ship in the sky, and they were real interested in that Daxamite.
Okay,
Ah,
it's
there you
been
go.
a minute. It's not as drastic a change as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they had like a month off, so you're pretty...
I was able to jump
close.
into the show, and the only thing that had really changed
Yeah.
was that Kara and Mon-El are together, and
You know
that's
what?
not a huge surprise.
It's not a huge surprise, and thank God you missed a lot of like hemming and hawing on that crap. Like it's just good that like they're together. They weren't together now. They're
In
just
fact,
together.
I think just skipping to here
Yeah.
has benefited me because I've heard rumors that the back half has been kind of uneven, and I really liked the first half of this.
Yeah,
of
the
First
the
half was
second
really good. Mixie Spitlick and the musical episode
the
were
musical episode was
so
really good.
much fun,
season. Okay,
but that was
cool.
the music episode was just on Flash. Yeah.
which was really good.
I really adored this episode. I thought it was like one of Supergirl's better episodes. It like in spite of like the setup was pretty generic in
Yeah.
a way. Like it's something I've seen before, but the emotional resonance like really was high for me. Like
Yeah.
all three of like your main women on the show had very strong things to play.
Yep.
I always like seeing Supergirl not as like super preachy and not being a paragon of virtue,
Yeah.
and instead being a flawed person, which is who she is.
Absolutely.
The idea of the Supergirl defense in
that was a
court
great concept.
is an awesome concept, and it's like tying in like disparate things like Watchmen or Incredibles, and like really sort of start like filling out this world and making it feel a little more real,
Yeah.
like exploring the ideas of like if this then what. And I thought that Alex was like freaking awesome, all the ways that she was trying to escape, filling her
Badass.
pants with air.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only real downside to this episode was it was a little bit of a stretch that the guy that kidnapped her was that well prepared.
I bought it, like, because it was I like the idea of taking someone from their past. Also, great use of
I like that in
the
the
LA
footage. Yeah, from season 1.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I like seeing younger Kara and Alex.
Yeah.
I mean, I just like those actors, and it's cool to see them again. But I like that use of that character. That this person is kind of like he's desperate. He's had a pretty awful life, and the only person that's helped him is also an awful kind of human being. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
murdered people.
Yeah, I like that too. I like the use of the past too, but it's a little weird that it's like if she takes out her tracking implant and then uses that in the camera so that she can send out a signal to her teammates, then this will happen. It's like, okay, it's hard for me to believe that their high school friend was able to think that far ahead.
Well,
you know
he
what I mean?
didn't. We don't know his full extent of education post high school.
That is true. That's a good point.
He was
That's
a
good
pretty
point.
He
bad
said
guy.
he's been planning it for years.
A year. He said specifically a year.
Okay, but if you're
He kept
just
saying
working on
this-
one
yeah.
thing for a full
Listen,
year,
he got a
you have
full ride
time.
scholarship to Supervillain School.
Yeah.
All right, he got the classes
Luther
taught by
Academy.
Luther Academy. He's good to go.
Lena keeps trying to change the name, but
Yeah, exactly.
she's trying so
She's-
hard to do better.
Uh-huh.
But L Academy just didn't stick.
It just
No,
didn't
it did
stick,
not.
unfortunately. No, I like this too. I like that it was a little like a little bit more of a grounded episode, to use a pun.
No, I super enjoyed this episode too. I had to say super is the name of the show, and there you go, Sam's contribution. But anyways, thank God Maggie did something longer than being like, oh, hey, I'm Alex's girlfriend, and I'll see you next time. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like,
And she had some solid points against
she did.
Supergirl.
And I liked seeing her interrogate, and also like her twist at the end. I was like, is this a stretch? I don't know if I buy this, that you would immediately be like, yeah, you can leave prison now, this bad murderer man. But I still bought it because it's like, no, you love her. And the Skype call that she had with Alex where she's like, no, I want to have firsts with you. Like, I still have a lot of firsts. And it could have been hammy, but I thought it was well executed by both of them.
It was
And
played very real, very grounded. Like it was just a very well acted episode.
Yeah.
Kara maybe had one too many freakouts, like just one too many of like her like pounding the desk and being like, tell me, and he's like, no man, he's not gonna tell me.
I
shit.
liked also like the bit where they I liked that even though it made a challenge because it made this random villain seem crazy, like insanely prepared, but like stuff like having Martian Manhunter pretend to be the dad, it's all the stuff that you think like, hey, why don't you do this? They did it. And
I
then
like
the
that he's
classic
like-
like, why don't you read his mind? He's blocking me somehow. Like, classic.
Classic.
Classic block.
Somehow,
Yeah.
there's no other telepaths on this planet, but
Yeah.
he got it.
Yeah, he figured it out.
Oh, I forgot to mention in a previous episode there was like a bounty out on Supergirl, and there was a telepath that like took over Mon-El to fight her. And whenever he would use his powers, his brain would his scalp would like wiggle, and I'm like, God, I love that effect. They do that in cartoons. I never talked
It's
about it.
just
when
a
that,
classic
mind thing. Like I love it. Anyways, just wanted to bring that up. But no, I like that they covered that, and I like that this guy is somehow prepared. He's like, yeah, there's a bunch of aliens, and you're a shapeshifter and a telepath.
Yeah.
How do you know that? He's never used those in public, but actually he used the shapeshifting one time when he had to like reveal himself.
Yeah.
So I guess,
people know. Like that's the thing that makes this episode good. Is it's taking every time that the show has played fast and loose with believability in terms of like Kara as a child using her powers, and then she moves to National City, and all of a sudden there's a Supergirl in National City. Martian Manhunter revealing himself to the public. Like we have to remember that these things are known.
Yeah.
Like
It is known.
It is known.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like that's my point. Is like that's why he's a convincing villain to me. Is he's not a supervillain. He's just a guy with a grudge, a need, a lot of time on his hands, and who keeps abreast of like these events. Like he pays attention.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Is like his superpower is paying attention really well.
Pretty good, guys.
Fortunately, they live in a
stalking.
Yeah, fortunately, they live in a world where not a lot of people are paying attention. So there's not a lot of these guys running around.
In superhero world, no one pays attention to anything.
Well, speaking of paying attention, we have a tweet and Maruna at TV Freak in a Box. At this point, do you think Lena knows that Kara is Supergirl?
I think there's like an inkling, like just a little bit, because she's very smart. I mean, obviously she's really smart. I don't know how Lex Luthor never figures it out, but I think that because they have such a close relationship, Lena has it with Supergirl and Kara.
Yeah.
I feel like she's got a hint, but she's like okay with it. She's ignoring it. Also, great twist with just need your thumbprint real quick, and I was oh yeah, I forgot they made those alien scanners at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
So
Terry Hatcher.
It was really Terry Hatcher. Great job.
You missed Kevin Sorbo. She was Terry Hatcher's husband in the back half of the season.
What?
And
she killed him.
Yeah, she murdered him.
Okay,
Murdered
so
him bad.
as a first exposure to this new character with Terry Hatcher, I was a little skeptical, especially when she put on her when she was like, "Okay, I'm an alien now," and was just very stiff and robotic.
Yeah, if you'd seen the other episodes, you would not be any less skeptical.
God.
Yeah.
I know we're trying to complete the Lois and Clark set, but
By the way, guys, I have something I'd like to see them bring back that would play the stunt casting thing that they do really well.
Yeah.
And I think it would resolve some of the Catco issues. Okay?
Please.
Because we put James in charge of Catco, and they haven't done anything with that really. And we made James Guardian, which also doesn't really matter.
No,
but and we all
doesn't.
we all miss Callista Flockhart, right?
Yes, we do.
As Cat Grant.
coming back for the finale.
Is she?
Yeah. Yes.
God, that's
They
so
have to.
exciting.
And
Superman.
yeah, Tyler Hicklin.
Yeah. I think they should have Allison Mack come back as Chloe Sullivan in this reality, and have her be in charge of Catco, and have her be Lois's cousin, and have her just be in charge of Catco, because I think that actress is good. I think that character would work really well I thought that character was a really good character in Smallville. And so you could just do what they did with John Wesley Shipp's co-star in The Flash and just have it be the same character, just aged up in this reality.
That is.
You guys don't see the looks I'm getting. Nobody's on board with this idea.
Hey, man, I watched. Excuse me, for the person who watched the most Smallville in this room, I get it, and Chloe's in the comics. They added her after Smallville. I just don't think she would want to do it. She tried to get out of season 10. She was like the series regular, like with Tom Welling, and she kept trying to like you could see it on her face. She's like, oh no, another kryptonite bullshit. Okay, let's go ahead and save it. Clark, oh no, he's down. Somebody else go and just pick his ass up so we can just end the episode. Great. Paycheck? Good. And she might come back as like a cameo thing. I like the pitch.
Okay.
The pitch of her is cool from a fan casting perspective. I'll admit I never really was into Smallville. Not my jam.
That's totally
stuff
fine.
that I saw. Not crazy about.
What?
So it's not for me.
It's not for you. I get
right.
it.
You're
I
making
get
a pitch that would make a lot of people happy. It's not going to affect me much,
All
so
right.
you can
Well,
enjoy.
Supergirl producers, that one's a freebie if you want it.
I do know.
Obviously, Allison Anders and the entire Supergirl writing staff, contributors to the Patreon.
Oh man, we gotta.
Yeah, we got an
got a
A-list talent
stacked
here.
page.
Yeah.
We might need to be a little nicer. We appreciate what you're doing. But we do know that a boy was cast as
Yes.
a certain General Zod. And
Yep.
They cast an actual
Boy,
They
a
cast
little boy as
a
General
little
Zod.
boy, a boy about
creative.
in his 20s because it's the CW. But
Yeah.
no, we're gonna get Zod soon, and so you're gonna have Zod, you're gonna have Rhea, you're gonna have Lena Luthor, you got the trifecta.
I want Brainiac. I don't want Zod. I want Brainiac.
Yeah.
You don't get anyone, and you're gonna like it, DJ. All right.
Yeah,
And we
DJ.
got Indigo. How can you not be happy with Indigo?
I want Indigo to come back with a better makeup, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Supergirl. I
Yeah.
forgot that she was Supergirl.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we're on CW now. You think you're getting better makeup? No, you're not. You're not. You're not getting better makeup.
Yeah. Oh man.
Guys, speaking of makeup,
Do you like the cyborg Superman mask that he
you know,
puts
honestly,
on?
I don't hate it. I prefer that to whatever bullshit they did with Deathlock on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Was Deathlock? Oh, he was
Yeah.
rough too.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of makeup,
Yeah.
and if you haven't watched Flash, this will pay
Yeah,
off
I know.
later.
Woo!
So we had a new Flash this week, and after a
Wait,
whole...
did we rate this Supergirl?
Oh, we did.
You
rate
were
the
jumping
Supergirl.
ahead
I
of
know,
13.
guys. You know, as a throwback to the superhero roundup, we're running a little long. All
Yeah,
right.
Of course we are.
Of course
And guess
we
what?
are.
You guys are paying for. You guys are getting all of our incoherent
Sweet
sentences
juice.
and stuttering. That's just
Yeah.
mainly from my microphone.
Yeah. All right.
Anyways, we're gonna score it. Let's do for Supergirl. Let's do.
Sam, there's a lot of shows. I think you should pick a scoring number for the whole episode for every
can't,
show.
I can't promise
Okay.
that, but fine. I'll do 13.
Okay.
What would you do at Matt?
Quick out of 13, give it a 12. It was a very solid episode of Supergirl. It reminded me why I like the show.
Yep.
Don't really have many complaints. Good.
Nice. And you hopped right into it, so that's a very nice score, DJ.
You know, I'll give it a 12 as well.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I'm gonna give it a 12 as well. All the way across
Triple
the board.
threat.
Yeah, united front. That rarely happens.
All right. Flash. I
Flash,
know who
makeup,
you
Flash.
are.
Yeah.
Anybody surprised?
No.
Anybody who called it in the beginning of who called it? Because someone pointed out that I called that Prometheus was future Oliver that came
Yeah.
back in time because now they're dealing with multiverse bullshit on that show. So I
You
think
count
I
it
called
as you
it.
called it?
I think I called it.
I haven't seen the show since it came back from hiatus. Like since they revealed Savitar.
Oh yeah.
You didn't miss much.
I was like, all right.
Did you have a moment of like, wait, we haven't revealed this yet?
Yeah, I was like, are we doing this bullshit again?
Yeah.
Can't Savitar just be Savitar? Does he have to be somebody?
No, it has
No,
to
he
be a big
didn't.
mystery.
Also-
it worked so well last season.
When did we move from Megatron CG Savitar to Goldar in the original Power Rangers costume Savitar?
The second episode, Savitar came back because actually
No, it was
there
like
was
it was
there
like
was
the
an,
second episode back.
there was an episode where like there was a fun like there was a really cool scene with Wally where he got like forcibly sucked into the Speed Force and he's like screaming and it's really cool. And Savitar comes out. It's a trade. And as soon as he comes out, you get CG for a second and he stands up and you're like, oh, that's practical.
There's no rhyme or reason between the transition between CG and practical.
Got it.
I'm fine with sticking with the CG. I was fine. The CG looked great. I thought like he was really
Or
good.
practical. I'm fine with him picking one.
Oh,
I say
okay,
pick one.
Pick one. I'm fine with picking it, but I would prefer the CG.
I
So-
liked it a lot.
Yeah.
So in this episode, well, we get Killer Frost being full on supervillain.
And you got a fucking Iceman trail of ice up in
I'm
the sky.
gonna be honest. I had mixed feelings about this episode, but all the Killer Frost stuff reminded me like of an early aughts superhero movie. Like just the tone and like we got to save this girl from the bad guy and I'm using my powers and we're chasing across the sea and I'm like, this is fun as hell. All the little like vibe, why aren't you vibing her? Because I might kill her. What about your powers has ever led you to possibly think that you could possibly kill her with your powers? Why are you freaking out about this right now?
He does.
Do I need to remind you of Reverb,
Oh yeah,
the
remember?
killer?
You know what? Maybe the show should have reminded me of Reverb, and then I would have been like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Yeah, one little like
Okay, that
he's-
maybe would have been good.
because that is a fun story like device of like you met your older self, so you're very scared of him. That was Killer Frost's like whole thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Reverb can bring that up too. That's
And
okay.
and then the whole Joe West like Man, that paid off. So, I hated the payoff for that. So
It was dumb.
he has this woman that he's been into all season. They're very sweet together. Jesse L. Martin sells every scene he's in. And he finds out he's not willing. She says, classic. She says, I love you. He's not ready. We've all been there. And
Everyone.
Literally every person on the planet. What's the resolution? What's the right answer here? You know what? Don't tell her your secret and break up with her. That's what we've learned from 3 seasons of The Flash and every other superhero movie ever made.
Flash, I think I'm the big out of everybody ever. I think I'm the biggest cheerleader for you.
Yeah.
But please, you got to improve that writing. You can't do the I found out this piece of information. I'm gonna go out on my own and do it again. Please, for the love of fucking God, they did it again this episode. Stop it. Just,
I'm dying to know, Sam. What would it take for you to stop being a Flash apologist?
A lot.
A lot.
A lot. Like a lot would have to happen if they just keep doing the same shit over and over again. I think I would just kind of.
By season 10, he'd be like, you know what, guys, I think I'm out.
Yeah, I'm like, and that's like episode 22 out of 23. I'm like. I can't watch it anymore. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, Flash.
I thought there was going to be a really cool moment where he realized that he really valued the normalcy of their relationship. And so the idea of losing that was more important to him than the relationship. No. And so he just broke up with her just because, like, if the option is telling you and having a relationship, have you being on the weirdness and losing this normalcy, or just losing you, I'd rather lose you. It's like that's
a
human
cool
and
idea.
emotional, and it's deep, and it also flaws Papa West a little bit. And no, it's just like, oh no, I'm going to protect you by not telling you. That doesn't make any sense.
And then I told you every secret ever. It's like, okay, here's what the multiverse is. And we kind of got stuck in there for a little bit, came out.
Yeah.
Barry's got time travel stuff. And then that's what the next, 30 minutes was of him just explaining all of that to her?
Yeah.
What
And
would have been
she's like,
easier?
Okay.
Yeah.
Still love
and then
you.
she breaks up with him. That'd be great that would have been another cool twist. If he finally tells her and she's like, okay, no, thank you. And she bails.
Like she can't handle it.
I'd
she's
rather
like-
be alone
Yeah.
than do that.
Yeah.
You were right.
Yeah. You were right the first time. Listen,
I'm sorry.
Savitar just kidnapped me. I'm thinking I'm out. Thanks, but no thanks.
There was I like the addition of the scientist lady.
Yeah, I like that she was
She's
fun.
fun.
Yes,
Yeah,
she was on
fun.
House.
Yeah.
She was in. Remember, if you guys remember House, he had the original like trifecta of mini houselings, and then they brought in a new one, a new trio, and she was part of that. And so I remember her from House and a couple other things.
I'm trying to
like
think
the
of what I
actress.
remember her from.
I'll go
it's
ahead
not
and-
House.
I'll go
I
ahead and
liked
look it up
that
really
her
quick.
lab had the see-through whiteboard,
They're
which
the
made me think
best.
like, I guess this is just a thing in this world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
It's
know.
the best. This is just how you do science here.
Yeah.
It's so hard to look at it if you use it like a normal person because you're looking through a plane of glass. So you're like, okay, I don't know. And why would you? A double-sided white one means you can use both sides. When it's clear, you can't because you can't see it anymore. Anyways,
And of course, the
wrong thing to pick apart.
Yeah.
The perfect way to know if a character is a great romantic foil, walk in on them burning things.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez.
Actually, HR had a lot of fun in this episode. I like the
like
date.
HR. I'm a fan of HR.
Me too, but especially in this, I like the date where he's like reading off science stuff. Great work on HR doing the what do you call that?
The Cyrano de Bergerac bug in the
Can
ear.
we hold
That
on a
is the
second.
word I was thinking of.
Can we? Why does Jitters have a secret drink named after somebody that murdered at least a dozen people in their restaurant?
Branding. Why do
Everyone's
kids dress up as the Joker?
Yeah. Everyone loves a bad boy.
But do people dress up as the Joker in Gotham? Like,
Oh, for sure. You remember, in every like comic, they're like the kid dresses up as Joker at Batman.
Yeah. Hey,
at Halloween,
do you
what the hell?
remember a little gang called the Jokers?
yeah, but these were trying to be bad guys. Like, it's like, is there some Jitters employee that like, fuck the system? We're gonna call this the Zoom.
In what's that classic Mark Waid book? Future Superman, really dystopian future.
Kingdom Come?
Kingdom Come, thank you. It's there's a restaurant that they keep coming back to. It's like where it's superhero themed and like Robin and Wonder Woman, like you can order a Joker slider and like you can like it's like that.
Yeah, but did Joker murder people in that specific restaurant?
Not in the restaurant,
yeah.
but
but in
Joker,
general,
Joker in that world
he is a
still
murderer.
murdered a lot of people.
I know, but like if somebody murdered somebody in your place of establishment, would you be like, hey, let's name? It's not abstract
Hi, welcome
anymore.
to Starbucks. What would you like? I would like one Osama bin Laden,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing saying it's even more specific than that. Like if somebody had done a mass shooting in a Starbucks and Starbucks was like, hey, let's name a drink after that guy.
I think
Did Zoom kill someone?
There's
in
a reason-
Jitter?
Yeah, remember
he killed all those cops.
Oh yeah.
Except for the main cast.
Except for the main cast.
What you don't understand, what you don't understand though, it's on the secret menu. They wouldn't put it on the real menu.
Yeah,
By
man.
the way-
they
by
don't
the
just
way-
put animal style on
So-
the In-N-Out menu.
Yeah. So other question. So
'Cause everyone knows a bunch of animals.
Yeah.
The animal
Killed
massacre.
people at an In-N-Out in
At an In-N-Out.
1957.
So Zoom was busy being fake Jay in season 2.
Yeah.
And Reverse Flash had to outrun Black Flash in Legends of Tomorrow. What's Savitar up to when he's not like, why?
It's Barry, so he's basically just waiting down the clock. He's like, and I gotta kill Iris in 2-ish
What do you
weeks."
guys? Okay, let's get to it. What do you guys think about the reveal?
That's dumb.
Boo.
It was dumb.
Is there a version of the reveal that's not dumb?
No, the way you could have done it that would have made it better but not good is it that during previous episodes when they would start getting in like bouts of like fighting,
Yeah.
he would do the word mirroring thing where he
Yeah.
would say at the same time, he's like, I've done this over and over again. Like he like that
Which,
would have
by
been
the way, his memory's still way better than mine. If it had, like, I would not remember. I would not be able to tell somebody
Word
like
for
an-
word?
Yeah,
No way.
no.
what you
never.
don't know is actually this Barry is from like next week. So he's like
Yeah.
he like just remembers it.
What do you guys? This all plays into a question from Kevin Good at K Goody Jr. Did you feel the Barry Savitar reveal was tacked on last minute and too on the nose in this episode, or did it seem well written in through the season? And it seems like the impression is not.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
I was going to ask that. Is this supposed to be? Because one of the flashes he has when that big reveal where he has his memory, like I remember this from the season, and this from the season, and this from the season. One of them is Barry bring up time remnants. So are we supposed to infer that this is some sort of time remnant Barry? And why?
Yeah, I don't
And
know.
why?
That's the only way that this could conceivably make sense is that at some point, and I don't remember when this happened, and maybe it's in the future, Barry created a time remnant of himself, and
Yeah.
time remnant Barry is really jealous of actual Barry because actual Barry gets to live a life, and time remnant Barry is always going to die at this certain point in time. So it's
But-
sort of like, fuck you, Barry, for creating me, you piece of shit.
Yeah, but then time remnants don't make any sense.
No, they don't. So
No.
building your whole season around a time remnant, which I think they also did last season,
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
not a good idea.
Yes, sir, they did. And because also future Barry
Yeah.
didn't of 2024, the previous episode, Flash ran to the future of like that newspaper they had, like from season 1 that was like he disappears in a crisis. It's like a month or so before that happened. So
Yeah.
he showed up there, he fought the Top and Mirror Master. It was a fun episode.
Yeah.
And you meet emo Flash. Like you meet after Iris has died and he rebuilds Team Flash, and now he basically our Barry inspires future Barry to be a hero again.
Yeah.
So at some point in the future, maybe he has like a snap and he's like, what if I make like a 200 time remnants and they all go to every country around the world and they...
Get burned in the face.
I don't care. Anyways, just before we get back to that really quick, Anne Dudek is the name of our new scientist. That's the actress's
Yes.
name. And she was famous for White Chicks. The
Classic.
Wayans brothers.
I've never
movie.
seen it.
Oh, Matt, you're missing out on a cinema classic.
I don't know what you saw her in.
Okay, that's fair. I will look it up in my own time.
Is there like?
Thank God that wig came back though of Emo Berry. It's now just parted differently,
Yeah,
but it's the same.
Yeah, man.
wig.
I try to think. One, I don't know if there's any reveal that would have worked for what episode is this? 22.
We're at
20?
21, I think.
21 episodes of mystery. I don't know if there's any reveal that's like, oh, that was a cool payoff. But like Ronnie having it be, because the last episode, Killer Frost comes back and she sees who Savitar is and she's immediately on board. So a lot of fan people were like, maybe it's Ronnie. It's like, that works because he died stopping Reverse Flash.
Yep.
In like
And
the
so-
Speed Force garbage
Yeah,
thing.
so he could be pissed. That
Yep.
works. For once, bring Eddie back as the bad guy. It makes too much sense.
He's too busy on that other show, Quantico.
I think he died on that show. I think we determined he died.
You know
on that
what?
show.
We produced The Flash, DJ, not you. So we don't want him back. He wasn't fun on set. He didn't come to my birthday.
Classic.
That's the reason. That's
the reason why Cupid keeps coming
Can we
back.
not? Can we not do? They've already said they're not doing a speedster, right, for next season.
Yeah.
Can we not have it be
Didn't
a
they say
mystery?
that this year, too?
I don't know.
They said they
man.
do half. And you got Alchemy and then Savitar.
I liked Alchemy.
Yeah.
Alchemy was way more fun.
And then he became kind of nothing. And then
He's
he was over.
He's the new Harry. the grumpy scientist
No,
guy.
I know, not even Julian. I just mean
Yeah.
alchemy didn't
Oh
build
yeah, alchemy
anything.
didn't. No, alchemy was just basically Savitar talking through somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boo.
So
It makes me mad. Is this? I really feel like Flash jumped right into, if you compare it to Arrow, right, jumped right into its Arrow season 2, and this has been the Arrow season 3 and Arrow season 4 of the show. You know what I mean? Where it's like, for me, this isn't as bad as season 2.
this whole season
This
of
whole
Flash?
season 3 is not as frustrating for me as season 2 was, even though it's very frustrating.
It's not frustrating. I mean, I don't find it frustrating. I think it's definitely a lot sadder. Like I guess the whole story of this season is that Barry is an asshole, and we did it with like, here's Flashpoint.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
He is gonna try to save Iris, but guess what? He's gonna be a whole new level of dick while he tries to do it. He's like, Wally, guess what? You're a little bitch. Go sit down. You don't get to run today. And it's like, why? And at the end of the episode, he's like, you know what? I was being a dick. And like that's one of the lines. It's like, Barry, can you just chill for like a second and just not be an asshole?
Which is what part of what made the future episode work, because it's him learning to not be so much of a dick and really stay and help the future version.
I like this episode because they're like, "Where's Wally?" There's a really big emergency where your sister's gonna die. It's like, I just ran over another universe for like a date. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a extra dimensional booty call. Listen, Iris, I know you're gonna die in a couple weeks, but like, I'm gonna go hang out with my girlfriend.
Jesse,
Yeah.
we're both speeds.
Yeah, if you've
Jesse.
seen her in that costume, I'm sorry, sis. I gotta bug out.
I want her to break up with me. I hope you know that universe is filled with hotties.
Hey, Earth 3.
All right, so how would we rate this episode out of 13?
It's definitely rougher.
Uh-huh.
It's rougher than the rest of this. I think the rest of the week for the other shows was a bit
pretty
stronger.
on point.
So for out of 13, I'd give a 7.5.
Okay.
7.5. 8. I'm going to go 8.
8, there you go.
I'm going to go 8.
I think it would be cruel to rate it lower than a 7 because it wasn't like a terrible episode of television. It was just emblematic of what appear to be long steaming problems across this whole season that didn't really fix anything and a reveal that didn't really pay off in a nice way. So I'm going to just give it a 7.
7? Whatever a C is, I'm going to give it that.
In this world of 13, probably a 7. 7.5.
There you go. Yeah, just because I really like the Killer Frost stuff. It was really like old school superhero stuff that, like, as a kid, that's the kind of superhero shows you always wanted.
Yeah.
And so that was a cool payoff, as much as I didn't enjoy some of the other stuff.
One of my favorite parts of season 2 is when Zoom did that 3-minute spiel of explaining, like, so I became a speedster, but, then I ran through the multiverse, but then I found your verse, and then I made it Jake Eric, and I was like, wait, I'll pretend to be Jake Eric. Now we're going to get that times 2 in the next episode. It's like, so in the future you ran there, but then I was like, I would be the bad guy, and I'm going to go to the bad guy, and you trapped me in the Speed Force, and I went back into the Speed Force, and then you got me out of the Speed Force, and it's just like...
I'm going to tune out at Time Remnant. So you made a Time Remnant. I'm out. I'm going to just zone out for the rest of this episode.
Explain the metal. I just want to know the metal.
Yeah. The metal sounded cool.
I love... Oh, wait. So I forgot who I was talking to. Someone... Was it you? Was I talking about when... I was talking to somebody where it was like, look at this metal. It doesn't reflect like normal metal. And we're like, yeah, and my friend was like, yeah, 'cause it's plastic. Yeah, it's plastic in that little case. Yeah, of course it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And I thought they lost.
Feel like, oh, it's plastic.
Yeah, wait, no, that's for sure just PVC. Yeah, that's why it doesn't reflect. But good on you. All right, that's our thoughts on the Flash. Let's go ahead and move on over to
Arrow. And hot damn, I'm really into this season. I feel like this season has been on point. They've done some really cool things. Matt, what was the last Arrow episode you saw before this one?
Boy, I'm trying to remember. It might have just been like the 4-part Aliens crossover.
Oh my.
That was a good one, though.
I do remember, like, I think we had just started getting into vigilante stuff.
Yeah.
So I was a bit surprised that the show has gotten so sidetracked with seemingly a lot of vigilante stuff.
Nope.
Really?
They revealed that Adrian Chase is Prometheus, not Vigilante.
We don't know who Vigilante is.
We don't know who Vigilante is. Although I have a theory that I don't think I've told you guys that I would like to share. But
let's get to it. But
wait. What?
Yeah, you missed a big thing.
Yeah, there's a big fight between Prometheus and Vigilante, and Prometheus like kicks Vigilante off a building,
which is great.
And then he reveals himself as Adrian Chase. So Oliver's been working with him the whole time, and this leads to some of the greatest passive-aggressive villainy I've ever seen on a show. Because like Adrian Chase comes into work, and Oliver knows that he's Prometheus, and Adrian Chase is like, "Man, you're just really not doing great on that. Like, catching Prometheus and stuff like that. And it's just turning the knife.
Dude, this is awesome.
No, you're missing some awesome scenes. You're missing some pretty awesome
Has
scenes.
Arrow been awesome this year?
Yes. It's been really on point.
That's a fucking awesome twist.
So, and what,
I love that.
And what's really interesting, they Prometheus kidnaps Oliver and goes through this long torture session to try and get him to admit one thing. He's like, I need you to admit one thing to me. And so the whole episode, you're trying to figure out what the one thing is. And they do the flashbacks to Russia where Oliver's really embracing his more murdery side. And what Oliver finds, just at his breaking point, he admits to Adrian that part of the reason he created the Arrow persona was because he liked killing. And it breaks Oliver.
But like the torture episode is like rough. Like he fakes killing Artemis in front of him. It's pretty
it's brutal.
Graphic.
And then Oliver broke and he tries to bring the Bratva back to take out Adrian Chase for him, and Diggle has to talk him off that ledge. And so they really tie the flashbacks in a really interesting way. It's been seasons since they've done that
in their life.
And did you see the reintroduction of the new Black Canary?
No, there's just a woman named Dinah there. I'm like, Dinah, probably Black Canary.
Oh no, she's great. Like her whole episode when you find out how she got her canary cry, like it's a thing, and she was a cop. Anyways, I think out of all the shows, catch up on Arrow because it's been
it sounds
good
like
stuff.
they've been doing a great job.
I think they gave themselves a secret present in the fact that the Island flashbacks are always supposed to be 5 years. So even though this isn't a series finale, the series as we know it kind of is. It kind of is a summation of all that. So they've given themselves all these gifts of being able to tie stuff back in. And that's what's kind of made the flashbacks
really cool.
more potent, is because since episode 3 we've known, or 2 maybe, we've known Oliver was part of the Bratva, so that's finally paying off.
They're treating it like a final season.
In a lot of ways.
That's really smart.
And the reason, and of course, Prometheus Adrian Chase really is he wants to get back at Oliver because Oliver killed his dad and everything, and so it's going back.
When did he kill his dad?
Back in the Hood days, back in season 1.
You find out where Prometheus's origins are, but you still don't know his identity yet. You know that there was the death of his father, and then you meet the mother, and she won't say what her son's name is because he's changed it, and there's no records of it anywhere. And even Prometheus, when he would take off his hood, he had some special tech that would block his face from cameras, so people couldn't see who he was.
You mean lighting?
Yeah,
yes.
Right. And Felicity's been working with the coverts, hacker group. That
called,
comparatively is
Helix.
Yeah. But it paid off really well here because in this episode, Prometheus traps them underground, which that was a great, all the stuff that is supposed to protect them, which, by the way, never really does a good job.
No.
But now is doing a much better job of keeping them stuck inside.
Yeah.
And goddamn, finally, Mr. Terrific got the T-Spheres, which you saw in this episode.
Yeah,
and you've
they're great.
seen the evolution, and now they're doing even more things. I love that they're finally doing it.
I also liked, it was a little heavy-handed, but it was nice to finally have the women be able to scold the dudes and be like, hey, listen, all right?
Yeah.
You do a bunch of shady crap. You can't get on you either need to cut that shit out or you need to get off my ass.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, fair enough.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
No.
Also, Lila hands over. He's like, "Here's all the Black Ops, Argus, a secret government organization, has been doing. Husband, random person that's not a part of the agency.
Yeah.
Which I still loved it.
Cool.
Yeah. Leaves it in a Starbucks.
Yeah. But I like that this is a bottle episode. It takes place primarily on sets that we've had, and primarily has our characters trapped. But they do a good job of when Oliver's trying to get out of the elevator and it blows up and he falls. You're like, ow, it hurts. It hurts to watch.
Because he's a big dummy who just caused himself to fall 6 stories.
Well, and the eventual escape.
So is he a tank?
When Diggle when Oliver bleeding out with fumes is carrying Felicity and Diggle's hanging off the ladder and this is really well constructed. This escape sequence is really even though I honestly do not believe in my heart of hearts any of these characters are going to die here. It's gripping, you know what I mean? Because it's one of those how though? How do you get out? I believe they will, but how?
And similar to Supergirl bringing back stuff that I honestly forgot. I forgot that Felicity is paralyzed. I forgot that she has special tech.
And using the EMP. And also, this apparently is not the magic EMP that goes away after a little bit. This is a more of a realistic EMP that once the electronics are fried, bye-bye.
And everyone has really good ideas. I like that they bring up the trust, and it's no, there's something deeper. It's that he just kind of hates himself, and so he's willing to let his bad decisions, regardless of what they are. He thinks they're pretty good, but if they do end up going poorly, it's on him. It's not on anybody else. Which I thought that was a pretty good argument for his sake.
Also, props to this show, one, for bringing back Salmon Ladder. I missed it. And also for reminding me why Felicity and Oliver worked. Like, those flashbacks were sexy, man.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, like I was like,
I like Felicity now. I mean, like I like her.
When
I always did.
You were always a fan.
Yeah.
But when he's showing her how to use the like salmon ladder and everything, I'm like, this is nice. Like this is cool. Like normally when they kind of dive more deeply into romantic stuff, it's like, meh. But it's like this was working. Like
It felt natural.
I got why these people would be into each other.
Right. They wrote a scene with chemistry, with heat for the
Yeah.
first time, like, ever.
Yeah.
Like, it really in the history of their relationship, because it was always either kind of like melodrama or it was before they were together and it was just kind of like light flirting. Like, this felt like a couple, like, hanging out and having a good time.
You know what it reminded me of is like iZombie writing.
Yeah.
Where it was cute and clever and fun and just and still like pulpy and and lighthearted, like heightened, but you connect with the characters. And I man, Arrow's I've always been more of an Arrow fan.
What?
Yeah, but this
Shocker.
season has been a gift. This season has been a real gift.
No, it has. In watching this episode, I was like, wow, this feels like a really well-oiled show. Like everything that's happening, even like the side plot with like Wild Dog and Mr. Terrific, like having their dumb banter and Lila and Diggle. I'm like, no, I appreciate everything that's happening right now. The only character like they brought on the new Black Canary and they got rid of Ragman, but right now she's still feeling a little. She still feels a little tacked on just with everybody.
Yes. Even though she's really cool.
No, she's awesome, and that's why I'm fine with that. But I would like her to have more to do, and that's not even a dig at this episode.
I think before the season's out, we're gonna get her versus Black Siren, which will be cool.
So cool.
We got a quick question on Arrow. Festive Chris Fellows at that Chris Fellows. Also, do you think Prometheus would go as far as killing Oliver's son?
Okay. By the way, how many years has it been? Because
Yeah, he
that
looks
kid is
like-
aged.
He was like
quick.
like 4 when we last saw him, and now he's like 10.
I mean, technically, like, yeah, I think they kind of miscast the other one because she was pregnant, like, before he left on the
Like
island.
maybe even a couple years before he left. the
Right.
island, yeah.
So, like, it can make sense that he's like
like
8 to 10 years old.
yeah.
But maybe he feels like 14. Like, he's on a school bus and he has attitude. He feels like teenager.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was weird to see him because I was like, is he gonna be by himself? Are they gonna like kill the mom, which would really suck?
Would Prometheus do it? 100%.
Yeah.
Would Prometheus go that far? Yes.
Should we tell him that there was one big twist for Adrian Chase? It involved a wife.
Yes. I mean, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so there was basically they find Adrian Chase's wife, and with him in Prometheus gear, but they basically bring her out like she was there, and she's like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Like she didn't know he was Prometheus.
Yeah, and so he starts to like kind of like break down, and like it looks like he's thinking about what like he's been doing, and then he stabs her and kills her, and you're like, "Oh shit, okay, he's a bad guy." Like,
Yeah.
He real bad guy.
super bad guy.
They really want you to be like, oh no, he real bad
he
guy.
real bad.
Oh,
They really
top 10
want.
bad guy.
Yeah, my Adrian Chase. What?
Go ahead.
My theory for Vigilante
Yeah.
is that he's actually Adrian Chase, and by that I mean we know that Adrian Chase is a false identity, so maybe Vigilante is the real Adrian Chase.
That's
cool. I guess
That seems complicated.
a little complicated.
No.
I think the reason why they're making Prometheus this unrepentant bad guy is because they intend to have Oliver kill him at the end of the season.
I mean, that's what kind of started a lot of the drama for this season is when he killed off Damien Dark.
So then
in
maybe
season 4.
it's about that choice. It's like make him unrepentant, so like we want him to kill him, and he has to make the hard decision not to.
I'll be interested to see because we know Deathstroke is coming back in some capacity.
Oh, and you heard his voice in every.
Yeah, and so I'm really excited. I think that could possibly be the best payoff because that was the big struggle in season 2 was could he redeem himself from the mistake he made with Slade back on the island? And he decided not to kill him. And so if that decision to not kill Slade ends up saving him from Prometheus, I think that is the best summation of the 5 years of storytelling that they could possibly do.
That's a great way to like really establish and bring home that theme. That's really cool.
I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful. This season's got my trust.
And I think that they've had 5 years to build up to it, and they're really digging into the history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 years of
And
hell.
she even said it.
Yeah.
It was nice. But no, I'm slightly nervous for season 6 because then the writers get free reign again. They're like, crap. Because when they had free reign with magic and season 3 with the League of Assassins, it was a little rough.
Yeah, I'm hoping it picks back up.
Yeah, me too. And of course it
keeps
do. Yeah.
keeps this tone. Okay, out of 13.
Out of 13, I'd probably give it, I guess, a bit of an 11. I'd give it an 11. Like, I think the emotional and character-driven stuff was very well done.
Yeah.
I thought the mechanics of them trying to get out of the place, at least until the back half of the episode, were a bit played out. Like, I felt like, oh, I've seen this before.
Okay.
I've seen this before a lot, and it didn't work for me. But the character development elements were very well done. So I would give it an 11.
I can give it a 12.
Same.
It's pretty good.
It was pretty good.
It's pretty. I could give it a 12.5. Actually, I really enjoy. I think it was the best episode of the week for the shows. And also,
probably.
if you get the time and you want to check out the rest of Arrow, this season has been super solid.
I think Arrow's the back half of Arrow will be my new late night watch.
Little binge. And also, it's not too many episodes. If you were
it's like 5 or 6.
Yeah, so it's not too bad. But those are our shows. Reviews.
Now,
Hope you guys enjoyed.
Matt, real quick, running along, but can you stay for a second and talk about the Defenders trailer?
Yeah, I can talk about it.
Okay. So we all saw the Defenders trailer.
Yes, sir.
Now, Matt, did you see Iron Fist?
I chose not to because it seemed
That's
like
fair.
a bad decision.
That's fair.
We'll give you 2 episodes to watch, and you'll get a feel for the show.
Yeah.
Okay. I also read, I think, a Gizmodo article that was like, everything important you need to know from Iron Fist if you don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That article should exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's helpful. But we had a trailer for Defenders way early. This is very early for a Netflix
it's
show.
Coming out in August?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got a while. What did we overall thoughts? What do we think?
It's really, it is undeniably cool to see these characters interact. When Matt Murdock comes in as the attorney for Jessica Jones, it's like,
while she's talking to Misty Knight.
Right. I'm like, fuck, I wanted this during Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
I wanted this to already happen. I've been waiting for this. This is cool. I have no read for Finn Jones as Danny Rand because I haven't watched the show, so I don't really.
You know what? If you had watched the show, you still would not have a read on him.
I
as Danny
don't
Rand.
like him. I don't.
Yeah.
Or you would not like him.
So it's like and that's a bummer. But like all the other elements are pretty cool. That final hallway fight shot, very cool and promising. Sigourney Weaver, big fan.
Yeah.
Is she Danny Rand's mom?
No, I don't think so.
based
No,
on-
because we saw Danny Rand's mom sucked out of a plane. So
Yeah.
odds are not. Even though in other superhero stories that you might be able to come back from that one.
I mean, we see Elektra coming back, who was pretty dead. So and
At the hands involved, all bets are off.
yeah, so it could be, but
It's definitely a different actress than they had in the flashbacks.
Yeah, and which is cool, which is fine, and like they can age her up, and if they brought her back to life, whatever. But as far as I know, no. But she does have ties to the hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is my only hang up for the show going in, because so far these shows have not done the best job with the hand.
I don't know
making me
how to
care.
make it better, but yeah,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I think maybe that's why I'm jumping to it, because I know that she was sucked out of a plane.
Yep.
But usually if you don't see a body,
That's a good point.
People can always come back. And I feel like the way that you make us care about the hand is you give us a personal connection to it.
But the problem
and we
is-
have Elektra, but we need more than that.
Yeah, but the personal connection is to a character that most people don't really like that much.
That's
Yeah.
the shame of it all. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
For me, watching this, the big standout moments were the lawyer scene, like you talked about, and the callback to the punch from Luke Cage with Iron Fist. I'm
that
like,
was
that
neat.
was great. I everything about it got me excited for the show. I love these characters. I'm excited to see them team up. The way the trailer was put together is not my favorite. Specifically, like I'm tired of like in team up movies like this where they're like, hey, you're the one that does this, and you're the guy that does that, and she's the chick that does this. It's like, yeah, we know, like,
And they do it twice.
They do it twice
in the
because-
same trailer.
Yeah, because Stick comes out and like the Devil Hell's Kitchen and this this alcoholic detective and whatever, and then at the end Finn Jones is like, hey, we make a great team because you're this guy and it's like,
Shut
you've
up.
had
Shut up.
four seasons of 13 episodes to let us
Five.
know who
Five seasons.
This is 6.
I thought I was correcting myself from what we talked about before, but no, it's 5.
It's 5, yeah.
We know.
Yeah.
We know who these people are.
We get it. But
Yeah.
I, at first viewing, did not like this trailer. I was like, oh, God, it's Iron Fist. I thought Scott Buck was the showrunner for this one, too. But
No, it's from Daredevil Season 2.
Which is awesome, because I
Yeah.
really like Daredevil Season 2 minus the end. It was a little rough there.
Yes.
But super solid. So I think we're going to get some awesome fight scenes, which is really all I'm asking for.
Yeah.
And also, it's 8 episodes, so they should be really fucking awesome.
Which all of these shows should be 8 episodes.
Yes. Easily.
Yes.
I'm talking all of them, even the CW ones and all of them.
All TV
All
shows.
TV shows should
8
be
to 10.
8 to 10.
Get it out.
but specifically, the Netflix shows would benefit a lot from being
Yeah,
a little bit
even
tighter.
if you do 2 10-episode seasons a year,
Yeah.
just make it 10 episodes.
Also,
Yeah.
use the budget for your 13,
Yeah.
give it to 8, and then
And then maybe we could have
better
gotten the damn dragon on Iron Fist.
The only thing we get of the dragon is like sounds and then eyes, and like not eyes, red lights, and then
Yeah.
you leave, and like that's it. Also,
It's
why do you call it the
disappointing.
Immortals Iron Fist if they die, like they super die?
He's immortal because they get a new one. So as far as
No.
people know,
Iron
okay.
Fist
No.
remains immortal. The title is immortal.
The title is immortal.
Well, he's doing a lot of dumb shit.
He's
with
doing.
that
I would
title.
say for Iron Fist, check out episode 6 because that's directed by the RZA.
Cool.
Episode 8 is directed by Kevin Tantron, who did all the best fight episodes.
Right.
In
I
Agents
know.
Shield.
Yeah.
Which
he's
was a-
great.
And then
Pretty good
you could watch because that has the drunk one. Yeah, the fighting in it's fine. Whenever Davos shows up in the show, I think he's the last 4 to 5 episodes.
I think just watch the
he
second to
gooses a
last
lot.
episode. Just watch the second to last episode. That's the one that has like
That
the
has
Colleen
best
Wing
fights,
fight.
Yeah.
And Colleen Wing is the best part of Iron Fist.
I would say Papa Meacham is.
Oh, he's good too, but I mean,
Yeah.
Colleen Wing is amazing, and I can't wait to see more of her.
Yes.
So she's gonna, and I think she's in Defenders.
Yeah, she is. She is. We see her in the trailer. I'm excited. I'm excited for this show because again, it's all my favorite characters. I'm hoping that there's some you look at something like Captain America: Civil War. Even characters that were kind of like weaker in other movies, when they get in that big team up thing, like they click. And
if
so
it's written by the right people.
if it's written by the right people, so I'm hoping that maybe in this environment, Iron Fist will click.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see how they do with humor, because Daredevil is a rather humorless show.
Yes.
But Jessica Jones and Luke Cage have an element of humor to them. Jessica Jones is my favorite of these characters.
Same.
I just want her to be great.
Yeah.
I want her to be awesome.
And speaking of Scott Buck and Iron Fist and all that stuff, we also got a first image of the Inhumans.
Bleh. Okay, out of all, we got Karnak, Gorgon, Black Bolt, Medusa.
Black Girl Boltigan, get it right.
Sorry,
Boltagon.
Crystal, and
Yes.
Maximus the Mad.
Yes.
We got the whole gang. They're up there. Everybody, for the most part, looks cool. I thought everybody.
Karnak's face tattoos look cool. I like what they're doing with Crystal's hair, getting that weird Kirby
Thing.
She has that
That
like,
line.
that
Yeah.
line that I never understood. It's like, is that a headband? Is
know.
that what's going on
Which,
there?
guess what? It's not.
It's
No,
part
it's
of her
not.
hand.
It's
It's
a
part of her hair. It's
Part
part
of
of
her
her
hand.
She's got a hairline.
But the biggest takeaway is Medusa's hair.
Holy
That is
shit.
her thing, and that wig is rough in this image.
I also don't think she specifically is lit very well in this photo.
No, it's not a great photo.
But
It's not
but
a great photo.
I honestly, everybody was pissed off about the wig. I was bummed that we didn't get the full Black Bolt mask with the tuning fork, because I just think it looks cool. Like I think without the mask, it doesn't look cool to me.
Yeah, I'm like, who's this guy?
Yeah,
It's like there's
it's just a-
Ramsey Bolton and there's a bunch of people.
yeah,
And
In,
Wig Lady.
yeah.
In the newer like Inhumans versus X-Men comic, he wears like a suit, but he has a single band that goes around his head with the tuning fork on the top right there, which is pretty cool. I thought it looked pretty cool, and I would like to see
Give me
that.
the tuning fork. Also, I need Lockjaw. It's not a full cast photo if Lockjaw's not in it.
Right.
Oh,
I think
I-
they're still working on the design.
Probably.
A quote from Scott Buck is that Medusa's hair is definitely the hardest part of the show, and they're still trying to figure it out, which is not great when you are in production. You're like, shit, how are we gonna do that?
Yeah.
And like, then how are you shooting the scenes if you don't know how the CG is gonna work?
You cut around it like apparently they do in Iron Fist fight scenes.
Oh,
Yeah,
they definitely do.
It's tough, man. It's tough because they gave Scott Buck the weirdest of their Defender characters, and he kind of whiffed it. And so now he's got probably the weirdest of all Marvel characters that they're trying to make properties out of.
Here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say. Because like I can jump to like blaming showrunners and stuff like that, but I'll give the example of Noah Hawley. Noah Hawley
Yeah.
created the unusual.
Did you see Legion, by the way?
I started it.
It's so good. It gets really good. And
So,
it's so good.
Noah Hawley, he created 2 shows for ABC that both weren't very good.
Got it.
The Unusuals and Generation Y. Then they announced that he was the one who was going to be doing the TV adaptation of Fargo.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is going to suck so badly. This guy's not good, blah, blah, blah. And the show comes out, and Fargo is currently my favorite show on TV.
It's very good.
Legion is also very good. The guy is very talented. He just needed the right circumstances. And I'm wondering if maybe just like, maybe he just didn't get Iron Fist, the character. Maybe he just doesn't, maybe he made the mistake of casting a lead actor who doesn't know Kung Fu instead of like casting a Kung Fu artist and working on the acting.
Yeah.
You know, maybe the structure of a Netflix series isn't necessarily his bag, but maybe this is a thing that he can excel at. We don't know. We're just basing it off of material that we've seen before. You know, Scott Buck, he was on Dexter during season 4, during the best season of Dexter.
Yeah.
He was also there during some of the later seasons. So, you know, I want to reserve judgment till I see it. Also, the wig doesn't bother me. I read it as a choice.
Yeah.
And it makes it feel more comic booky to me, if that makes sense.
That middle part?
Yeah.
Huh.
It makes it
that's
feel
fair.
more like an illustration to me, which like could backfire, could be cool.
Yeah.
In a lot of illustrations of Medusa, they comb it back like if they were going to pull it into a ponytail and it goes, or it's held back by a crown, which I think kind of helps hide the part, or it could have helped hide the wig a little bit.
It's that part that really bothers you.
It's because it's just like, wig. It's just like that part. I can see it. Like, that's wig. But I'm still excited for Inhumans because it's a really ambitious project.
Yeah.
IMAX, they've never done anything like this. ABC has never done anything like this. Marvel hasn't. So I'm still excited. I think it's going to at least have some really cool moments.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see it in theaters. So,
Guys, Matt, thank you for coming on, man.
Thank you, man.
This is a lot of
been a
fun. I
pleasure.
really like talking about superhero shows with you guys.
we did it. And guys, I'm proud of us. Matt, would you mind doing a few plugs for us?
Nothing would make me happier, Sam. Yeah, you can, if you're not following me on social media, you should. Matt,
No. We were talking about plugs for us.
Oh, sorry.
No.
I
Listen,
didn't make
guys,
that
you
clear.
need to understand. These are 2 boys, Sam Basher, DJ Wooldridge. DJ has a comic coming out.
Oh, he's really going for it.
He's got a comic coming out. If you haven't been paying attention, the comic's name is
Chaos Theory.
Chaos Theory. It's about zombies versus dinosaurs. If that doesn't sound good to you, well, maybe you don't have ears on your head, and then you're not hearing this
Moist
plug.
little ears.
Oh, moist
little
little ears. Sam Basher is a talented young boy, and he's doing a lot of great things. You should pay attention because I'm sure he's got lots of announcements on the horizon.
Yes, sir.
Yes, he does.
He's not the only one with announcements, though.
Yeah.
Matt, I mean, you're still working on your stuff coming up, but you've got you were telling us before, you got a lot of really cool things in the pipeline that I'm really excited about.
If you stay tuned to my social media, I should be able to announce properly announce stuff soon, which I'm really stoked for. I mean, what did I say before? I feel like I said that. Did I not say?
You said Matt Lieberman Show.
Yeah, it's a podcast. Matt Lieberman Show. So that's going on. A few other things in the hopper. I'm not trying to take a full-time job anytime soon. I'm just trying to have fun and work on cool stuff. On Instagram every day, I do videos of my guinea pigs, and people really like them.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so you might enjoy some of that at Maddie Lieberman.
There you go. And follow him on Twitter, Instagram, and get ready for that podcast because, oh boy, it's going to be a bucket of fun. But guys, we're winding down. DJ, you have any final thoughts?
Thanks for joining us on Patreon. If you want to check out our other cool stuff, we got movie nights. We're going to have Google Hangouts. So that's patreon.com/OnlyStupidAnswers for a regular show. OnlyStupidAnswers.com. That's all you need to worry about. And thank you guys for joining us. We're excited to do more of this.
I'm very excited. I've been reaching out to some friends for the movie night, so I'm super excited. And just keep your eyes peeled on your email, also on patreon.com, because I think any changes that we make to the website, if you've contributed, which that's the only way you'll be listening to this, you'll be getting updates. So get your sweaty little ears ready. And again, thank you so much. Thank you so much for contributing to our Patreon, because we know you like our stuff and we like you more for doing it, and we're getting. I can't find an out. DJ, help me. Say
at
anything.
Sam Basher on
There.
social media.
There
At
you go.
DJ Talk Trash on social media. At Maddie Lieberman on social media.
Yes.
Come hang out, talk to us, and keep tuning in.
I was cycling.
We'll see you next time.
And
Bye-bye.
bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.